Hello, everybody. All right. Thanks for joining. I was going to say we'll wait one more minute, but I know this is being recorded, so we'll do the boring stuff and get it out of the way. So obviously, I have Tracy Donalds from Service First Solutions here to help me since it's my first webinar. He's like my real life crutch. So
Well, thank you
yeah.
very much, sir. Hopefully you're staying busy as the newly minted COO of Dataforma.
Yes. Can't spell cook without COO. That's correct. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's actually one of my points of order here. And while I do appreciate it, Tracy, I hope that helps to signal to everyone that we are at Dataforma absolutely trying to signal a change of the leadership that we've had. And while it's sad to lose, a founder of your company, that also gives you a chance for some really good change. So we are, and myself specifically, much more focused on listening to our customers and responding to them as quickly as possible. So a lot of what you're going to see today is going to be regarding that. This is actual user feedback that we got just a few months ago. And Tracy too, the reason I like to bring Tracy on, he's also helping with the PSU, which I'll touch on next, is that I speak to contractors a lot, but he's in their business every single day. So he knows a whole lot of what they really want. So I love to use Tracy. He was one of our best users ever. He's a personal friend. And I very much appreciate his help and his feedback. So that's why I like to bring him on for these things. And if anyone has ever heard of Tracy, he has a consulting business to help you grow your service side of your business and the revenue there. And I highly recommend it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, I'm just a little bit about myself. I'm a 20-year commercial roofer. I'm the dummy who started in the service department and never left. Built a smaller department, 3 trucks into about a $9 million operation before COVID. And for the last 5 years, we've been going around the country helping people start, grow, and scale their service departments. And we work with a lot of great Dataforma users. So I'm excited to see some new functionality, which I really haven't been taken through yet. So this is going to be new for me as well.
Yeah, and for these webinars, a couple of things. I promise I will try to be more enthusiastic than previous Dataforma webinar hosts. And I promise I will do them every month. They will not be on a certain day of the week or certain time. We will always try to give you 2 weeks heads up, but I travel a lot and I just had my 3rd daughter in 5 years. So my schedule is not conducive to saying every, second Wednesday at 3 p.m. It's, hey, 2 weeks from now, I have time. Let's do a webinar and we have some cool functionality. We're going to try to focus on, yes, it's going to be recorded and sent to you afterwards, Michael. We are going to try to focus on new stuff coming out and other little just small things, but we're going to try to keep it to 30 minutes because we're going to start recording them and putting them on our YouTube page. So it'll be sent to you if you register. And if you don't register, it'll be on our YouTube page. You don't have to do the old process of like going through our admin staff and, getting on the webinar stuff. You can just go to YouTube and download it and listen to it. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about PSU for just a minute or two. So we're going to go through the new mobile home screens. We're going to go through Site Tags AI. And then we are going to go into the new sales module. So without further ado, if you haven't seen anything about the PSU, please come. A lot like these, we're revamping it completely. So we're going to have more contractor feedback. It's a really nice resort in Scottsdale. Should be perfect weather because it's Scottsdale in November 13th, 14th. And we're going to have breakout sessions. If you haven't seen the agenda, we're going to have the big group sessions, right, where we talk about Dataforma. But in the breakout sessions, we're going to have a bunch of other stuff too. So this isn't even like set in stone, but maybe how to hire and train field employees, residential warranty and other type of work. we want you to get a break from Dataforma and just talk about things that are good for your business. So if you have idea for roundtable sessions, feel free to email me directly. But the PSU, we already have around 100 people registered, which is a lot for this time of year. We're hoping we can get it to like 250. So feel free to email me or go to our webpage to see more on the PSU.
Yep. And it's all over social media. And the one thing I'll say, Brian, is you're involving more contractors. So you get to hear more contractor stories of being successful with the Dataforma tool. We all know the tool is great. How did we take it home and be successful with it there?
Yes, precisely. Thank you.
We hope that a lot of you come out to the PSU. I honestly think it's going to be a little bit different atmosphere this year. A lot of roundtables, a lot of more people sharing the secrets of how they are winning with Dataforma back at home. And I think you'll see in just having this webinar and wanting to share the information and wanting to develop new functionality for the users, I really think it shines a new light on the Dataforma future. Because you all know, as Brian said, I've used the system for a long time. I was a former user. I truly believe it can be successful. And now that they're putting some more development into it, a little bit more excitement, and honestly listening to a lot more of the users and the user companies like they did maybe 15, 16, 17 years ago for any of you people that are in the room that have been using it for that long. But like Brian said, we're going to do this webinar series every month. I may not very well be on it every month. It may be somebody from my staff. It could be someone from a different association. But we want to, I encourage them to get the word out every month to allow not only for people to learn what's coming down the pike, but also to share their input and ask questions about the functionality or just about growing a service department overall. And that's kind of like the role I'm going to be filling here once we get through the Dataforma updates. I will tell you that the stuff that we're going to see today is not all of the stuff that is going to be rolled out come PSU. They are going to be reviewing the stuff today that you've seen on your dashboard or your message board. Want to make sure and use the right term. They're going to be reviewing.
If you record your name and reason for.
Oh, and look at this. Brian Cook back in the house.
Let's see. Yes. All right. Sorry, y'all.
Look at that. I know it's going to shock you, but I was able to talk the entire time you were gone.
Well, thanks for covering. All right. Sorry, y'all. All righty. Now you can see my screen. All right. So in the mobile app now, this is live. You can currently use this if you're not. Wherever you're using site tags, you have the ability to let's say I want to drop a site tag. First of all, if you weren't aware with these pins, the labels, previously you had to use one character. Now you can name them whatever you want, right? We had a little issue with Google. We've resolved it. So now this can pull onto your templates, not just a single character label. And then when you're adding pictures, so let's pretend I want to add some pictures to this. That's not the one I want. But here's some pictures that I'm adding. I believe all you have to do is hit allow one time, and it'll automatically use ChatGPT to add the comments for those pictures.
Correct. And I believe that's in the user settings of the mobile settings.
Yeah, and you could do it once and it puts it in there. So just know that that is live now. That's not something that's coming. That's not something that you can have soon. You can use that right now. And what we would like is, we actually already got a comment that somebody said, can we add it to all comments or pictures, not just site tags? And I believe the answer is yes. But when you guys have ideas like that now, don't think like, oh, they'll never build it. Tell us that you want those things, because we can introduce that into all aspects of Dataforma. So that's something you could use now. But I was even thinking, have it go through all of my old invoices, right? And tell me what's out there and what I can get back, or which clients have I not talked to recently? And
There's going to
then,
be there's going to be a lot of uses for AI, not even across what we're doing in the systems, but think of like delivery of the proposals or summarize. We had a great idea in a peer group today. Summarize this inspection report for someone who knows a lot about roofing or doesn't know a lot about roofing.
and actually, we're going to go through at the end of this doing mobile proposals. And one of the concepts is take a bunch of pictures on an inspection or when you're looking at a roof, and then just have like maybe put a price, and then AI will write the entire proposal, kind of like you're saying. So now here are two more updates to the mobile app. The one on the right is coming in a week or two. Like it's going out to the production server. So it's already been tested, it's approved. And the one on the left is being finished up. It'll be available by PSU at the worst, maybe a little bit before. So on the right, I want you to notice the whole new look of the mobile app. So it's not just all of the buttons, the modules. Each user can define the buttons themselves. So they'll have their own little settings here. So they can add or remove these buttons. And then up here, it's going to show them their jobs for the day. So if I have 4 work orders, they'll be able to scroll through their 4 work orders. So we have a little video here, just so you can see that they're scrolling. And then they can click on a button to see where those jobs are. They can rearrange those jobs on their own if they want to. So what that was showing is like, hey, I want to decide to go to this one first. It'll switch the order and then tell them how they should get there. But also what's really cool is we're trying to reduce clicks. So they can actually clock into this job right from here. They don't have to click on work orders, my work orders, find that job, scroll to the punch clock button. Right from here, they can clock in. Right from here, they can take pictures and upload it to that work order. Right from here, they can click on the site tags and perform the site tags functionality. So we're not forcing them to leave this home page. And then what's really cool is we're calling it geo prompting. So if I'm driving around and I get within, I forget if it's like a quarter mile or something of this job, it's going to say like, hey, you're at this job. Do you want to clock into this job? Or, hey, you've left this job. Don't you think you should probably clock out? Yeah. And then,
real quick question. So I don't want to get too far. On the reorganization of the jobs, is that going to be a setting that can either be turned on or turned off?
Yeah. So basically, you're always going to be able to decide by user. And that's really going to get functional on this left one, Tracy. So what we did on the left here, we have a lot of large companies who either have subcontractors, they're nationwide providers, or whatever reason, we don't want to give full access to people in the field. So think of this as a locked down version of of Dataforma. So you only get to see your jobs, right? I don't have to worry about you clicking on 100 different buttons in the app and then finding somehow some information that you shouldn't do. You can only see your jobs, and it will give them their routes. And then we're even toying with, and people, please give us your feedback, route optimization. So this will show them how they should get there. But, we work with Google. It's about a dime per, trip that you would have to pay. But if you want, this could actually give you, here's your 4 jobs, give me the route out, and they're going to leave at 6 a.m. Give me the route optimization. And again, that would be something you have to pay for because it's not cheap, but it looks like it's about a dime per trip. But yeah, they can decide who can do this and who can't.
Gotcha. Okay.
But pretty cool stuff, right? Like I love this is going to be, guys, like Mark and I. So Mark is the CEO if you never met him. The first thing we said is we got to finally clean up the UI. It's got to be prettier on the eyes, and we got to reduce the clicks. We believe we have the most breadth and depth of any system that exists, but over the years, it's gotten a little too clicky. So if you don't know how exactly to use it, it can take a while to use it or a while to learn. But the good news is, since we have all this, cleaning up the interface is the simplest thing on the planet, right? You just have to have the will to do it. Reducing clicks can also be, fairly simple because we can actually look in databases and see, okay, nobody ever uses this functionality. So we can remove that and that'll reduce a click here or there.
Gotcha.
yeah,
And
so
the thing I really like about what two things you said is how it looks, because that goes to so much about when we are training a software to a new employee. Let's be honest. If it doesn't look great, it might be shut down right away, or it might not have the right enthusiasm about it. If it looks really enticing, new, cutting edge, it's going to be easier to sell to the person. And if we get rid of those clicks, if we can make it more customizable, where maybe the buttons and the modules that this user isn't going to be working with disappear from the screen, it makes it more likely that I'm going to choose the right option, which is then going to make it better and easier for the administrative staff side to process that work and not have to go back to the same item over and over again.
yeah, I mean, you're so right. Like, why have all these buttons? If this user is only ever going to use work orders, just have them be able to get rid of all those buttons. And you'll see too, within each module of Dataforma, all those administrative tasks, instead of being in one central administrative thing, we're giving you the administrative stuff right there. So I don't have to call somebody at some office that I've never met. It's like, no. I can update my home screen by myself right here. So now the really cool one. Also, we know that we have a lot of, commercial roofing contractors operate much differently than they did 23 years ago when we created Dataforma. And we have a ton of contractors who do residential and commercial work. And we felt like we were underserving all of those people. So this is a brand new sales module. So if you have a third-party sales software, you don't really need it anymore. If you pay for Salesforce, we think it accomplishes the large majority of stuff that roofing contractors use Salesforce for. Obviously, we're never going to be the scope of Salesforce, but a couple things I want you to notice. This is when you log in to the new sales module, and the first version of this will be live at PSU. Instead of previously where we had all data at first, and then you did a bunch of clicks to get to reports to see things like this, like we just said with Tracy, we just want you to see the reports and the aesthetically pleasing stuff to your eye. So imagine you log in. These are all going to be widgets. Each one of you will decide which reports you want on your dashboard. So Tracy and I do not have to have the same exact dashboard, right? Tracy, if one thing's important to you, but I frankly couldn't give a crap about it, it's not going to be on my dashboard. Yeah. And then what's also cool is within each widget, Tracy, there'll be filters. So maybe you want to see 6 months, but I want to see a year. So there's additional filtering on each of these widget reports. And everyone, absolutely, please email me ideas for like sales reports that would go on this dashboard. We have like 5 or 6 that we think we can have ready right away. But eventually we want like 20 of them so you guys can just pull them in. We're even thinking that we can make it, if I have one really important report, maybe that takes up 2 spots on my dashboard right in the middle. So you'll be able to so there's, a lot more customization.
That's great, because you can not only look at different numbers, different divisions, different, maybe even different services, all kinds of stuff like that within a division. I like that. And one thing that I just saw, we're going to go back to the questions. One asked if it was live, but you said it's not live, but it should be live by the time of the PSU, which is what, 2 months away, a little bit?
Yes. Yeah, November 13th, 14th. You'll have the dashboard and opportunities available right away. Yep.
Excellent.
Thank you. Good job, Trace. So yeah, dashboard. So opportunities is cool. Ooh, let's see this. Yep, cool. So now here's a list of all of our opportunities. Another really cool thing we added, the Kanban view. People love this. So what is Kanban? It's a fancy word for I can drag and drop an opportunity from one status to another. No longer do I have to hit edit and click a new status. I'll just be able to drag this sucker from over here to wherever I want. So then everyone has their own little dashboard.
And so this is an opportunity. How is an opportunity related to a lead?
So a lead when it comes in our mind is just, I met Tracy at, Chick-fil-A and he bought me, some nuggets. Now I can assign that to whomever. It becomes an opportunity when we call Tracy and he says, hey, fine, you can finally come look at one of my buildings, right? Because now we actually have an opportunity to work. So there can be unlimited number of opportunities. When those go all the way through and the job is accepted, that can turn into, or it feeds into the work order or project, and it'll bring over all of that information. So you'll be able to see if one lead turned into 500 work orders or 300 projects. You'll be able to see how many opportunities it took to get to a job, maybe. But this is a true front end sales thing. You don't have to use projects, sales statuses, or anything like that anymore once this comes out. This will be housed in a true sales module.
Yep. And you wouldn't induce a work order or a project until you actually have a bid to attach to one of those items.
Exactly right. Yeah. So now, because that's what messed up a lot of people. Back in the day, it was different, but now we truly track sales. So we finally responded to that. And we think it's really cool. So again, if I'm like this manager and I just click on an opportunity, I have all the important information. What's the last time we talked to them, right? So the last, correspondence, whatever, email. I can come down here, and this is a big one. You can actually create your proposals through Dataforma. We're going to allow you from even your phone, the mobile app, the desktop, whatever you like. But the mobile stuff is what's really cool. You'll be able to say, here's what we're saying we're going to do, give it a price. And then you could say, hey, I want to add a picture and some text, and a picture and some text, an infinite number of times. You hit a button, it sends them a link. They click on the link. You're able to see whether or not they viewed that link or not. So just like a DocuSign, you could see whether or not they've actually clicked on that proposal. And then they can sign it right there on their phone. And then once they sign it, you see that they've signed it. And then that gets uploaded as a document to that opportunity, and then to that work order, project, whatever it is.
Transferred once, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, and we know it took a while to hop into this, but when we did, this is what Mark works on pretty much 24 hours a day for the past 4 months. And then it gets really deep. We're going to have accounts. So it can be a commercial or residential accounts. So again, instead of going into a customer file, all of that, because theoretically you could have a ton of people, your front end sales staff, that are never using the back end of Dataforma now. So they can view all this here. So I said one of my things on this dashboard would be, who are my top accounts? How many, opportunities have I had with them, right? So basically bids or proposals for how many dollars, and how many jobs and for how many dollars have I actually closed with them? You could set up sales teams. So and this could be, you actually can customize a lot of this. So maybe you have a lead gen, you have an account manager, and you have a closer or whatever it is. You can attribute different aspects of closing each job to those teams, those people on each teams. And then quotas, this will come last. So this will be maybe, hopefully it's an IRE next year, but this is really cool because you can have quotas and then people can move in and out of that team for that quota, but you'll always know whether or not they hit their quotas historically. And then again, there's more, aesthetically pleasing, graphical stuff built into it right away.
So as someone who believes in the power of the almighty follow-up, that was a term dropped on me in a peer group meeting today, the almighty follow-up, are correspondences and follow-ups going to link to opportunities similar as they have in the past with other objects?
Absolutely. So up here, you'll always have relationships, correspondence, docs, and events linked there.
Excellent. And is that any of that information going to be able pulled into the sales dashboard, right?
Yeah.
So we can maybe look at activities and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what our friend Huntington said last week. Basically, you could have, open. You could have KPIs. I want to see how many, cold calls were made this week, right? Yeah, how many follow-ups, how many meetings did we have? Lunch and learns, whatever it is, all of those could be on this dashboard. The dashboard is, and that's why I keep saying, please email me ideas. We have 6 ideas, but those are our 6 ideas. We want your 20, so that, because it'd be really cool, if, somebody signs up for Dataforma and there's, 25 or 30 different widgets already built into there, and they just add whichever ones they want.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You have a time for a few questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. Sorry for the hiccup. I'm glad we got through it.
Okay, so we had a couple questions back here. So I don't think this is possible, but you might prove me wrong. Is there a way to easily move pictures from a site tag to the document section of a work order, other than, let's say, the typical move feature in Dataforma? I know at one time you were thinking about linking those site tag photos into the typical download section of, let's say, a work order or a project. Is there any way to get those pictures from the site tags to the regular, let's say, document section?
No, there's not. But and this was asked the other week, and I don't know why we built it so we couldn't. So whomever that was, please email me direct, and I'll try to talk to the tech team to figure out like why we made it so that they're like imprisoned in that site tag.
Yeah, I know when we were at PSU last year, the thought was brought up about possibly having a folder in documents. Let's say it says site tags.
Yep.
Right. And each site tag would have, label A, and then the pictures would be in there, however it would be. But yes, that was the first question. And the second question comes back to the mobile app. And I'm assuming this is a settings issue, but managers with the right settings can see all the jobs through the mobile app, correct?
Yes, they can. Absolutely. Now, that's a good one because what we're also doing, so we have the mobile app. Now, there's like the mobile app allows us to do really cool things like the geo prompting, clock in, clock out. There's free GPS if anyone didn't know that. So that's really only possible because we have the mobile app. But some people want to do more, like maybe look at the work order calendar. What we're also doing right now, and I don't have a timeline, but next month when I do this, I'll have more like set, measurables. We are rebuilding a lot of the pages so they're simply mobile friendly because some of our competitors don't even have a mobile app, which I think is crazy. But I was like, also that's inspiration because there's certain things we can't do in the app, but we can do mobile friendly web pages. So like what we're going to do is make it so if you want to see the work order calendar on your phone, it'll be very, easily doable. And even here, like I actually pulled up, here's like an example of the sales module on your phone. So it's just going to resize for the phone. So it's going to look really slick. I actually had this here to show you guys that a lot of these screens are being rebuilt so that they're mobile friendly in case you are traveling and hey, this isn't in the app. So that's how we'll handle that question, Trace.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. I want to give a reminder for any more questions if they're going to come in. And if you don't mind, I'm going to give a quick pitch here. Again, my name is Tracy Donalds. I'm with Service First Solutions. We help people start, grow, and scale their service departments. We come into your office, we work remotely, and our hottest growing service right now is the peer groups, where we take service professionals from around the country, 6 to 10 contractors in a group, and we get together once a month via Zoom. I actually had a call with a lot of great Dataforma contractors today, and we get together 3 times a year in person, share best business practices, solve each other's problems, give inspiration, hold each other accountable, and we tour roofing contractors' sites. So you get to walk through other offices and peek behind the curtain, so to speak, and learn the secrets. And it's really amazing how much you learn once you realize you don't know everything. And this is right where Brian makes the joke about, oh, Tracy, you sure you don't know everything? Because we talk all the time. But so I'll take that away from him. And then the last thing I would say is get to PSU. Definitely get to PSU. Meet people who are using the same tool you are. They will sometimes show you things that Dataforma doesn't even think about because they're designing it and they didn't use it in this one little weird situation because something happened in Florida, and then all of a sudden somebody from California can learn from that. So make sure you get to PSU. It should be a great time this year. My contact information is very easy. You can get us at growroofservice.com. Email address is info@growroofservice.com. And looking at the list of people and attendees, I see many of my customers here. So thank you guys all for attending and supporting Dataforma as well.
Thanks, everybody. Sorry for the glitch. Thanks for the assist, Tracy. Next month, I'll break something else.
There we go. Can't wait. Can't wait.
All right, y'all.
Take care, Brian.
Have a good one.